Africa show, we got brother Simtembile in the show,
correct, yes.
and I'm gonna be asking him a few questions about the topic I'm covering today.
Okay.
But before I go to the questions, I want to ask you one question. The president of South Africa has a name. His name is Jacob, right?
Yes.
And Jacob is a European name.
He's got an African name.
Okay, he also has an African name.
Yes.
But Jacob is a European name,
yeah.
right? In your opinion, why do all African, or almost all Africans, why do most of Africans have European names when European people don't have African names? Because we are all human beings, right? We are all equal human beings. If they don't have our names, and most of us, if not all, have their names, is that not a relationship of master and slaves? Because what makes them so special that we're gonna have their names and they don't have our names?
No, it's because the civilization we have,
okay,
it's actually also called Western civilization.
Okay.
So our way of life,
okay,
basically, is a Western way of life.
Okay, yeah. Now you understand that Africa never choose the Western way of life.
Definitely.
Right? That way of life was imposed.
Yes, that's correct.
And you will agree with me that a people are a people.
That's correct, yes.
You don't name other people as if they are your pets. Because we have our own civilization.
Yeah, that's correct.
We have different colors, different languages, different identification, different everything. Why suddenly we're gonna have their names when we don't have our names? Because it appears like something is wrong with our own identity.
Yeah.
So my question to you is it an equal relationship when we have their names but they don't have our names? Is that an equal relationship?
No, it's definitely not.
That's unequal. Yeah. That means the theory around civilization doesn't stand, because imposing your names into other people is not civilization. That is domination.
Yeah, that's
because if God created us with our own African names, it's for us to use them, right? And if we don't use them, they're gonna die, and that's gonna be a genocide against our identity.
Okay.
And we have to protect what is there. So will you agree that Africans gonna have to quit the colonial order? Because when we have their names, it's like they are more than us. You agree with me? Because they don't have our names.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
on human basis.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I agree that we should, but
we should quit that order.
But we shouldn't expect it to take 2 days. It will take a while.
We have to start driving it, and so far there is no any process being driven like that.
Correct, yeah.
So that means we have been stuck into a colonial system which was designed to make us appear inferior. Yeah. Because when we have their names and they don't have our names, what happened in our mind then? How does our mind adjust to that? Does our mind feel like we are equal to them, or does our mind automatically feel like we are somehow inferior or somehow less?
Actually, yeah, you've already answered that for me. Yes, yeah. Our minds would feel that way.
Exactly.
Which is why I'm actually struggling to convince my children that their color is okay. They're to be pink
than brown.
Yeah.
So basically, you know, it's shocking to see, which I know happened, and to hear that you are actually struggling to convince your children that the brown color is okay.
Yes.
So what makes young kids to view that their color is wrong when it's clear that every human color is fine, right? So what makes young or Africans or growing Africans or African babies to suddenly feel like something is wrong with their color and they're trying to be pink? What makes, in your opinion, what makes African children react like that?
I think it's because they are born into that system. Even the media propagates it as
like that. Yeah. So basically, the system we live in teaches us to hate who we are. And now the system is being run by Africans themselves. Why, in your opinion, they are not bringing the colonial system or the slavery system or the oppressive system, right?
Yes.
Which makes us hate ourselves, because it's dangerous to live in a system that makes you hate yourself, because you lose self-value, self-confidence, self-esteem, right? You become like a worthless human, because
you view yourself as less, you understand? And this system, you're correct, I fully agree. This system teaches us to look at ourselves as inferior. That's because if you live in a system where you have to speak the languages, you have to have the names, the dolls, if they are daughters, if they are girls, the dolls, they get pink dolls. What you watch on TV 90% of the time is pink. Then you obviously it teaches you to look at yourself as inferior. And that is wrong. We can't witness such a crime against ourselves, and we are in charge, and we can't change that. And we accept it as it's something normal.
Because right now, because of the system, most brown women would love to marry pink men over brown men. It means if they have the opportunity, they will all marry pink men, which means there won't be brown babies anymore, because if all of them start making baby with other race, the baby become colored, and our race dies, which is because of the system that teaches us. You agree with that, right? And we see that's clear. So we hope this video is gonna raise that awareness into the decision makers, right? And things. But before, like I said, we go again to the main question. Another thing, you spoke about the media.
Yes.
The media in South Africa, even in the whole of Africa, is still owned by the same people, the same people that oppress Africans for centuries. Do you think is it rational to allow a people who have proven themselves over the centuries to be our worst nightmare? You know, slavery, apartheid, colonization, dehumanization, medical experiment. You count them. You know, so many. Do you think is it rational, or is it logical to allow such a people to have the media in the hands, when the media shapes people's opinion and the way of seeing things? Do you think it's rational to allow such a people to own to have the media that feeds us news in the hands? What's your take on that?
The obvious answer to that is no, it's not rational. It's not rational. But unfortunately, we don't have strong enough leadership to take us away from that. That's
you get a round of applause from me for saying it as it is, which is very great. You know, it pains me and many of us who can see in the situation we found ourselves in, and it's very horrible, because that's why Africans are losing it out. I mean, we know it. We are the most abused and exploited people on the whole planet. We are the most vulnerable, the poorest, the one that open themselves to any kind of abuse. You see, and that is because of the system that
our leadership.
Because don't forget. The system has also conditioned our leadership mind, because don't think that leadership is always aware. No, it's not always aware, because if you are aware of the situation we found ourselves in, human nature gonna make you fight it. But unfortunately, we are born in a system that teaches that everything. You say we have Western civilization, which is not Western civilization, but we are living under Western domination. They have made us look at what is ours as inferior, what is theirs as superior. That's why most parents gonna name their kids after them, right? Gonna buy their daughters brown doll. It's a system. It's all in the mind. We have been conditioned. So the leadership in many instances doesn't know. You got the point. That means we become even our own enemies without knowing. They turn us against ourselves. So which is a very interesting. We hope that the decision makers gonna be able to watch this video to help us get out of the mess we are in, no? Africans. Now, very interesting. And we're gonna go to the main questions I wanted to ask you about.
Okay.
Let Bam be my name, man. I call on you to change your name. Reject all the pinky name. You're not a dog, man. Only you, man, name the dog. The kind name us, we not pets. We human being, man. We were born with our own names, our own language, our own way of life, man. You have to open your mind, don't